Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video I just want to briefly talk a little bit about a slight pet peeve that I have with the sub-Renown factions in the War Within Season 2 in the Undermine. So basically, to cut a long story short, for players who don't know, when you max out a Renown in pretty much every expansion I think from Legion, you get a little box. That box contains various items: gold, resources, crafting items, different currencies that could correlate to the factions. But generally speaking, at least in previous expansions, they've included mounts in these boxes. And this was a big contentious issue because what it did was obviously it incentivized players to grind incredibly hard, but also getting them out was RNG. So it didn't matter. There was no like fail-safe protection. There was no like, oh, I've opened 100 of these chests and now I am guaranteed the mount. It was like, you can open these chests endlessly, grind, rep endlessly, and never get the mount or the pet or the whatever. So in previous expansions, that for me has always been something that isn't the best. I don't mind players having incentive to farm troves. I think filling up your renown bar, getting more reputation, having a reason to continue grinding a faction to a certain extent is pretty good, albeit not one that I think is necessary. In the Undermine, or in the first part of War Within, this was not the case. So you could farm the troves and basically you would not have a chance at a pet or a mount. In the Undermine, they've completely reworked it, and now every faction drops a mount with the trove. I don't like this. Look, I think players should always be rewarded for continuing to grind things. I think players should always have a benefit to doing something, whether that's 10 gold, 5 gold, 100,000 gold, an item, a transmog, this or that. There should always be a benefit to whatever you do. That's how these games should be. You should always get a reward for effort you put in. But the troves, the big issue I have with them is the RNG. So it's the fact that players aren't guaranteed the rewards. If it was like, oh, by your 5th trove you will be guaranteed the mount, I would say sure, no problem. I think that's fine. I think that's okay, because there's plenty of hardcore players where 5 times through 5 troves, oh, they'll be done by the 2nd week. Whereas for non-hardcore players who play more casually, getting a couple renown troves by the end of an expansion, you should be able to do. For me, the issue is that that's not the case, and so the incentive is now to have to grind these troves, and I just don't really support it. Like, I just don't think it's a good concept. I don't think it's good overall, especially like a lot of people I see, they're grinding the dark fuse solutions, because you can actually grind this one without a weekly limit. So you can go and grind this heavily, and it's just like, it causes a lot of FOMO, causes a lot of like issues I think with fundamental game design, and it's inflated time spent. Like, it's forcing players to redo things like quests and build quests that they could have done thousands of times to try and get them to continue playing in that zone. And I think keeping players in zones is super important. I think you have to have a set limit to how long you're going to keep them there. I actually think arguably you'd have more players participating in this type of content and staying in areas if you had a hard cap on how many times they could do these chests before getting all the rewards, or at least the main pet rewards. And then when they do get the pet or they do get the mount, filling it in with crafting materials or something afterwards. So yes, maybe you're removing some of the RNG for transmog, you may be giving them a little bit more of a crafting economical reward. But yeah, I don't like the troves. I think they are very annoying. I'd love to hear everyone else's opinion about it, and yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Let me know what you think about the troves. Do you enjoy it? Do you not? I'd love to hear, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.